Right, good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining me again today. And today I've got a special feature, as I promised in the morning, and I'll be talking about the Wuhan coronavirus. This virus is spreading all over the world, and this disease that you get from this virus cannot be cured. So if you get the coronavirus, you can only be assisted for your immune system to help you. It cannot be cured. There's no medicine for it. There's no vaccine for it. So I'm giving you an update because 22 people in Zimbabwe are being monitored for the disease. That means there are 22 people who came from Wuhan, who are currently in Zimbabwe, who are being monitored by the Ministry of Health to see if they're going to develop symptoms. So if you're in Zimbabwe, you have to be very, very careful because it means a large number of people are traveling from China into Zimbabwe, people in the construction sector, diplomats, people in the cell phone industry, people in other areas like financial services. If you're in contact with these people that are coming from China, you have to be very, very careful. So besides the 22 people that are being monitored in Zimbabwe, there is no person currently who has been diagnosed with coronavirus, although I don't think there's nothing which you can actually say you are diagnosing someone with coronavirus. I don't think there's a specific test. Maybe it's a group of symptoms that you look at and see if someone has coronavirus or not. So the information I'm going to give you today is the first update. I'll try to bring you an update every evening of what is happening with coronavirus. So let's start with how many people have died. So as of today, in the morning, 80 people have died of coronavirus and 3,000 people are infected. So about 2,900 people are infected. Those are the people that are in hospital who are sick right now of coronavirus. There are almost 60 million people under quarantine in Asia. That means these people cannot go into public transport. They cannot leave the city where they are to go into another city. The USA has sent a plane to evacuate all their diplomats from Wuhan. And also, Germany has prohibited its citizens from traveling to China if they do not have a good reason. Now, let's look at the USA again. I want to go into the USA because these are the guys that have got a way of checking for diseases. They've got better systems. There are 2 confirmed cases in the United States with one 60-year-old woman who has visited Wuhan. However, she did not use any public transport and she did not go into the market where this disease came from. And she still has this disease. There are 60 people who are being monitored, people who came recently from Wuhan. And then, as I said, in Zimbabwe, there are 22 people being monitored. In terms of treatment, there's no treatment for coronavirus. There's no vaccine. And so if you catch it, you will certainly fall very, very sick or you will die. So the best thing you have to do is to not get this disease. Do not get coronavirus. Do not let your kids get coronavirus. So you have to prevent this disease. How do you prevent this disease? Firstly, avoid traveling to China. Avoid public transport. Do not use public toilets. Do not touch things that you don't need to touch. Do not buy stuff that is coming from China immediately. You just go to China City. In fact, I went to China Mall this weekend and all the China malls were closed. I don't know if it was for the new year or what, but they were closed. And the lady there told me that goods are not being delivered from China, which means you mustn't be touching goods that are coming directly from China. Wear a mask if you have to go into public transport, or if you're working at a pharmacy, or if you're a doctor, wear a face mask. If you don't have a face mask, ask Zimbabweans who are outside the country to help you by buying masks. Those things cost 20 rands for 100. They don't cost a lot of money. Buy a mask. Then wash your hands very frequently. Drink a lot of water. And when I say wash your hands, there's some sprays that you can use for washing your hands. You can also keep wipe, some wipes that you, some disinfectant wipes that you can use for wiping your hand, especially if you're a doctor, if you're working in the medical industry. Try to do that. If you go to China right now, they are staying in mask, in suits, in disinfectant suits. They're not taking those off. They are wearing diapers so that they don't have to take off their suits. The system in China is overwhelmed. If this thing comes to Zimbabwe, our doctors are going to start dying. So if you're a doctor, you are in danger. You have to make sure that you start protecting yourself now. Wash your hands, disinfect yourself, take a lot of multivitamins. As I say, drink a lot of water, avoid contact with people without a mask, without a face mask. You have to be wearing that face mask if you're a doctor. So let's look at where this virus came from. This virus came from animals to humans, which means there was a movement of the virus from animals to humans, because Chinese eat a lot of these animals like snakes. It's called a Chinese cobra. They eat that snake. And then there's a bat. They eat the bait. If you look on the internet right now, there's a viral video of a woman eating a bat. That food that they eat, it transmits the virus from the animal to the person, especially when they're keeping that animal before it's sold. That is where these things happen. It's now also being transmitted from human to human. So if someone catches it, then they come next to you, you catch it also. It's now being transmitted if people breathe into your face, if someone coughs into your face, if they touch something that you touch, you get coronavirus. Right, so it's animal to human and human to human. And someone doesn't have to be coughing to transmit it. A person can transmit the virus to you. If you sit in an aeroplane and they don't have it, the whole plane will get infected. I don't know how they disinfect that air in the aeroplane, but these are the kind of things that happen. Remember what happened to the SARS virus? A lot of people died. This is the similar thing that is happening with the coronavirus. So breathing, contact, touching, sitting on a toilet seat. If you're working in the medical sector, high risk. And traveling to China, no, don't do it. And also, don't be buying anything that is coming directly from China at the moment, because this is where the virus is coming from. Right, I think I've covered enough for today. 22 people in Zimbabwe being monitored, but no travel warning as yet by the World Health Organization. If you look at the post that was recently made, there's no travel warning as yet. Very, very dangerous disease. And if you've got Netflix, you can watch one of the new releases there. I think it's called Epidemic. You can see what they're talking about. In the past, there's a flu that has killed 1 million people or more. Influenza virus is very, very dangerous. Stay healthy, stay away from it. Try to avoid catching it, because this can become a big deal. Right, so this is the update for 27 January 2020 coronavirus. We never knew this was going to happen. First month of 2020, very, very eventful. Please stay safe. I'll be back tomorrow to give you an update about the coronavirus. I'll keep updating you on the numbers every day. So remember, today it's 80 people dead, 3,000 people infected. So it's 80 people dead, 3,000 people infected. Let's see what are the numbers like tomorrow. But remember the safety tips that I gave you. Thank you very much for watching. And please, if you're watching this on WhatsApp, send this to as many people as possible. Teach the kids how to wash their hands, how to stay clean, and to stay out of public toilets. Thank you very much.